Hi guys, this is Jain Srinivas. This video is about the task as part of internship by the Sparks Foundation. The task is about prediction using supervised machine learning. So the task is basically to predict the percentage of a student based on the number of study hours. The data is also been provided, which is of the form .csv as you can see. So let's get started and see how the code looks. So to start with, I have imported the required libraries. As you can see, I have imported also the request library so as to get the CSV file from the given URL. I have used this method as it works not only in Google Collaboratory but any other Python environments as well. So after importing the data, I have stored it in a data frame named student scores using readCSV function from pandas library. So to look into our data, it consists of two columns, namely hours and scores. Now dividing our data into input and output. As our task involves supervised machine learning, it consists both input and output. So our input would be the values from the hours column and the output would be the values from the scores column. Now visualizing the data. As you can see, I have plotted a scatter plot using values from hours column as x-axis and values from scores column as y-axis. As you can see, there is a linear relationship between the study hours and the percentage score. Now fitting the model. After visualizing the data, there is a clear linear relation. So our model would be linear regression. After selecting the model, I have split the data into train test data using train test split function and then fitted the model using model.fit. Now checking the accuracy using test data, which is nearly 94.5%, which is pretty decent. After that, we can check the coefficient of our trained model. In this case, which is 9.91, which is also the slope for our model. As our input consists of only one feature, the number of coefficients would also be 1. Now predicting the output using model.predict. I have stored the values of predictions in the variable y underscore. Now let's see how y actual is different from y predicted. As you can see, for example, in the first row, the y actual value is 21 whereas y predicted is 26.79. As our accuracy is not 100%, this much of difference is expected. Now visualizing the output. Here the red line is the predicted values whereas the blue dots are the actual values. Now the last part of the task is to predict the percentage of a student who studies 9.25 hours per day. So the x value would be 9.25 hours. As you can see, score if a student studies for 9.25 hours per day would be 93.69%. I think which is pretty acceptable when you look into our data which is given. If you see here, if a student studies for 9.2 hours, he would have got 88%. Now if he would have studied for 9.25 hours, which is more than 9.2 hours, he is expected to get more than 88%, right? So we got that he would get nearly 94%, 93.69%, which is greater than 88%. Thank you.